You're drowning. The deadline is screaming, your stress levels are peaking, and yet, when your teammate asks if you need a hand, you say those four dangerous words. I've got it covered. Even when you know, deep down, you don't. We call this strong or independent. We wear our self-reliance like a badge of honor. But what if I told you that this isn't about being capable? What if your refusal to ask for help is actually a subtle, hidden form of narcissism? It sounds harsh, I know, but today we're going to look at the psychology behind why your ego needs you to be the only hero in the room, and how this virtue is actually sabotaging your career and your relationships. Psychology suggests there are three distinct levels to this trap. The first one is common, a simple misunderstanding of what work is. But as we go deeper, it gets darker. The second level is where your relationships start to crumble, and then there's the third profile. The third profile is the most dangerous because it's the one that feels like a superpower, but it's actually a career killer. Most people watching this will claim they aren't level 3 until they see the data. Let's start with level 1 and see how far down this rabbit hole you actually are. The first level is what we could call the lone competent. Picture yourself at the office, project board wide open, sticky notes everywhere, a half-cold coffee on the desk, and someone offers to take one task off your plate. You smile, say, "No, I'm fine," and silently add another hour to your night. It's not ego, not yet. It's efficiency logic. You've done this before. Handing it off feels slower than just doing it yourself. The problem isn't the decision, it's that this logic never turns off. You're not protecting the project, you're protecting your identity as the person who doesn't need backup. The second level cuts deeper. This one lives in the conference room during those mid-project check-ins where your manager asks how the team is tracking. You update on your work, you don't mention the blockers, you definitely don't mention that you asked no one for input. Because at level 2, accepting help doesn't just feel inefficient, it feels like evidence. Evidence that you don't belong in the room. That asking a question is the same as admitting a flaw. By the time you're walking out of that meeting back to your desk in the open floor plan, the isolation is already doing its work quietly. You're not protecting the project anymore. You're protecting a story, the story that you've got it handled always. Then there's level 3, and this one shows up as a kind of quiet superiority. You're in a team retrospective, sitting near the back of the room, listening to your colleagues brainstorm, and there's this low hum in your chest, almost a boredom, because you've already thought of everything they're suggesting. You don't say it out loud, but you feel it, the conviction that if they just let you handle it, it'd already be done. That's not confidence, that's a closed loop. And a closed loop in any team is how careers quietly stall. Here's what connects all three levels, and this is the part most people miss entirely. None of this is actually about competence. It never was. What it's really about is control, specifically control over how you're perceived. Asking for help in the logic of self-reliance taken too far is the same as showing a crack in the glass. And so the pattern locks in, not because you're weak, but because somewhere along the way you learned that needing others was a liability. Maybe in a high-performance environment, maybe at home growing up. The origin doesn't matter as much as recognizing where that pattern is living now, in your inbox, your one-on-ones, your late nights at a desk that everyone else has already left. What tends to shift things isn't a sudden burst of vulnerability, it's something smaller. It starts with one honest sentence in a meeting. "I'm not sure on this one. What do you think?" It's sitting there in the break room with a colleague not performing certainty you don't feel. It's noticing when the urge to say, "I've got it," shows up and pausing just long enough to ask, "What am I actually protecting right now?" Because here's what's true. The most respected people in any room aren't the ones who never needed help. They're the ones who knew exactly when to ask for it and weren't afraid of what that said about them. That's not a weakness to grow out of. That's the skill. Whether you recognized yourself in level 1, level 2, or that quiet conviction at level 3, none of these make you broken. They make you human in a world that rewards self-sufficiency and rarely stops to ask what it costs. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Which level felt the most familiar, and what would actually change at work if you let that one go? Drop your answer in the comments. You might be surprised how many people are sitting in the exact same level as you. If this video made you think, a like genuinely helps more people find it. And if you want more of the psychology behind why you work the way you do, not just productivity hacks, but the real patterns, subscribe. New video coming soon. Take care of yourself. See you next time.